Hello and welcome to Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys. My name is Hunter. In this podcast, I'll be joined by a different guest each week to discuss a classic Western movie or TV show. I've been a fan of classic Westerns for as long as I can remember, and in recent years, they've become very nostalgic for me. I love the aesthetic, the tropes, and I love seeing different filmmakers' takes on them. At their best, they're incredibly entertaining, rewatchable, and some of my all-time favorite movies are Westerns. We'll mostly focus on Western movies made in Hollywood, but we'll also be covering spaghetti Westerns, and one thing I'm very excited to get into are Western TV shows. I've got some amazing guests coming on the show, film professors, historians, and podcasters. And Tumbleweeds and TV Cowboys is part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network, and many guests on the show will be from other shows on the network. Thanks for listening.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
We deal in paint, pigment, light and shadow, realism, surrealism, impressionism, and ghost stories.
An interest in the oddball, a predilection toward the bizarre. And this place is nothing if it isn't bizarre.
There's no admission, no requirement of membership, only a strong and abiding belief in the dark at the top of the stairs, or things that go bump in the night. The name of this place, should you have come in here accidentally out of the rain, is the Night Gallery.
Welcome back, art lovers, to Midnight Viewing, the Night Gallery podcast. I'm Father Malone, and with me here in the gallery are Bollywood Cinema Club's Chris Dashu.
When I was cutting my birthday cake when I was 4 years old, I cut my finger. Mom.
And the life and times of Captain Barney Miller's Mr. Mike White.
I'm going to go to another planet where there are people just as
oh,
as
man.
I am.
All right.
Or beautiful, depending on who you are. It's all in the eye of the beholder.
We are discussing Season 2, Episode 14. This aired on December the 29th, 1971. Happy New Year, everybody. This one is broken into 3 segments. Those are The Different Ones, Tell David, ... and Lagoda's Heads.
Item number 1 over there. It could be a gentleman sitting in an electric chair, but it isn't. What it depicts is, in a sense, a method of execution that we humans reserve for other humans who happen to be dissimilar to us. You're about to look under that hood and meet firsthand one of the different ones. Tonight's first excursion into the realm of the unusual.
The Different Ones was written by Rod Serling and directed by John Meredith Lucas. It stars Dana Andrews, who, from what I hear, said prunes gave him the runes. Also stars...
God damn you.
Who is this? Monica Lewis and John Corkus. This is the tale of a father's decision on whether or not to shoot his deformed son into space. What'd you think, Mike?
I was waiting when you said his decision to shoot his deformed son into space. Did I see the twist coming a mile away? Yeah. Was it satisfying, though? Yeah, it still was. Were the makeup effects okay? Yeah, that kid looked horrific. I don't know what was going on with him. He looked like Bat Boy or something.
Right on, yeah. Good call.
Bat Boy, I don't know if you guys know, but according to Weekly World News, Bat Boy has joined up.
Oh, okay. Joined.
Yeah, hey, got to put those wings to good use somehow.
Did Bat Boy have wings?
Oh,
I just thought he had the teeth.
Can you imagine the damage?
I just assumed he had small wings on his back.
Fair enough.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. I thought it moved along pretty quickly. It didn't keep us waiting around for a while. I did how this was in the future. I think I saw someplace that this was turn of the century, but then I didn't realize which century. So I was happy with all the telescreens and all these modern gadgets that they have. I like that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't use the phone. And this is the only time that I actually communicate with people where I actually see their faces. It's pretty rare. So it's not the everyday thing that they predicted and possibly promised that we would have in the year 2000.
What about you, Chris?
It's a blackout sketch that's 10 minutes long. Isn't it?
22 minutes long.
Oh, sorry. I was off by half. It's a blackout sketch. It's Eye of the Beholder. It's fun. I think it's fine. Dana Andrews plays a bad father. I don't know how else to put it, but my son is ugly. I must send him to the moon. All right.
Better than you
Sure.
pronouncing him.
I guess so.
I thought they were going to keep that hood on a lot longer.
A lot longer, right?
I don't. Oh my god, the makeup effects are just grotesque. Grotesque. You know what he looks like? What were those things, the underwater things that were like the Flintstones? And they were like the underwater Jetsons? You know what I'm talking about? He looks like one of those.
I know who you're talking about.
They had a weird
The
thing on
snorts?
top of their head. He has this. Yeah, he has like weird like protrusions that come out of the top of his head. It's gross. It's weird. Don't be mean to someone who looks different. Come on. What?
Bubble guppies?
Bubble guppies? Okay. It's fine. What did you think, Father Malone?
I was wondering why, as malformed as he is, he chose to wear the bag over his head while at home. That was an interesting move. Also,
he's so malformed. He's just too malformed to live on his own.
What's funny is the decision for Dana Andrews to finally seek help comes because of taunting children outside chanting, "Nya, nya, you're ugly." And he gives this speech about how I chase them away, but they come back. And I worry about what happens when I'm not home. How about you soundproof the fucking house? Or you don't even need to expend any money here. Go talk to those children's parents and say your children are monsters. And then that might go away. The makeup...
Send my child to the moon is the appropriate response to my child being bullied, is to send them far away where they've never been.
That's right.
I heard that's the best thing you can do as a parent is shun your child.
It reminds me of that film Trick or Treat, where a group of parents decide that they no longer want to deal with their handicapped children, so they put them in a bus and have it driven off of a cliff. It's the same thing here. The makeup, I like the makeup. I think it's really, this is 1971 on a television show that we know the budgets, we know their schedules. So I thought the makeup was actually pretty effective. And they recreated the makeup a lot at the end with the different characters, which I thought was really effective. However, at the same time, it kept reminding me of Lee Bowery. You fellows remember Lee Bowery? It's Boy George's mentors and used to do this makeup. Lee Bowery was bald and would do a black splotch on the top of his head and then the different pools of black going down his face. That was his makeup thing. And that's all I could think. They turned it into a play a few years ago called Taboo. By a few, I mean like a decade or two ago. Anyway, I agree with you, Mike. I thought the production design on this one was pretty great because we're in the future, but they're just slight variations. He has the televisual communication device as a chair that seems very lived in, and there's a screen and it all seemed very ergonomic. And I like that a lot. Also, apparently you can just call the government and talk about you call the deformed children's branch?
It's the urban issues. I have urban problems. Chevy Chase has urban problems, like his deformed son. Only people in the cities have. But here's the question that I have. His kid's not deformed.
No, he's a mutant.
Right?
Yeah, this is
no, but that's still not the case because a planet of these people exist where they all look like that.
We don't know that. This is a recent communication.
Did he just happen? Yeah. Did he just happen to come out looking exactly like an alien?
Or was Dana Andrews' wife getting bonked by E.T.? That's the question.
See, that's a good point because there's a human coming back. Was this some sort of exchange program we were unaware of?
Right.
They impregnated one of ours and we impregnated one of theirs. That's could have been, but they don't really give us time to breathe on it. They make us seem like it's like Eye of the Beholder.
And honestly, what the makeup reminds me of, I kept thinking, so I had to pull it up and see. Proto-Odo from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. If you have the thing that's on top of his head actually just cover his face in that weird scar tissue, then it would look like Odo, because they do the thing with his nose where they smooth the nose into the face. So, I think the makeup's good. The makeup's not my issue with this. It's just, are you thinking anyone's going to be surprised by the twist? That's my question. It's just a weird story to tell if you're not going to just remake Eye of the Beholder.
It's a weird story to tell in that it isn't just this, it's the story of this father and son, and they don't understand why this kid is such a weirdo. And then we find out there are aliens involved. There's this government bureaucracy part of it, and this moral decision of this father. I guess I'll have to kill him. Oh, wait, there's a chance I can shoot him into space? Let's do that instead, because my initial decision was your decision, government. Let's end his life. And end his life for what reason? By the way, he seemed like an asshole, the kid. Seemed like a whining prick, and I did not like him. They could have spent some of these 22 minutes. By the way, 22 minutes? Yes, but it's padded out with 9 minutes of footage from NASA and Silent Running.
Thank you.
And Fahrenheit 451.
Thank you. They must have paid so much money for that stuff.
The NASA footage is interminable. It's beautiful. I loved watching it. Not going to complain ultimately, but you know that for no good reason. They're a show that prides itself on having little segments that can just fill in gaps. They've padded this out with stock footage. It was very unusual.
They paid a lot for it. I guarantee you that. It's like they showed all of it. Like all they paid for, they showed all of it. There's so much of it. Like you don't need to establish 8 times over what's going on. We get it. I'm with you. It looks really nice, which I appreciate, but to what end is always my question.
They're trying to set mood? No.
Yeah.
They're padding it. They are setting mood, remarkably. The music and the visuals hold up, but at the same time, we know what you're doing. Don't do that. Now, gentlemen.
Right. All they had to do was just play the sound of the engines roaring and Dana Andrews looking up.
And that was beautiful, right?
It honestly stands out more because they show the footage and it's just stock footage. Like even in 71, it's not like someone's like, oh, they filmed that. It's like, that's NASA.
Yeah, they didn't do anything to disguise it. There was no like cross-cutting or like dissolving or whatever. It's just like, here's one whole scene that we got from NASA. Here's another whole scene we got from NASA. Now, gentlemen, all this season I've been trying to highlight some of the Night Gallery family in front of and behind the scenes. In this case, it's in front of, or auditory anyway. This is a sound when our lead character finally returns to his homeworld that he didn't realize it was his homeworld to begin with. We hear this. It's a synthesizer sweep plugged into a guitar amp with heavy tremolo, not vibrato. That's a rookie mistake. This one was created by Oliver Nelson, who did a lot of the music on Night Gallery. And this is just some of the stock sound effects he made. It would eventually be picked up, and children of the 70s will recognize it instantly as the sound of Steve Austin's Bionic Eye. This got recycled into the $6 Million Man. They eventually had their own sound designer who did a bunch of effects on his own. The sound of the jumping evidently is a metal ruler on the side of a table. Found that out. Anyway, I don't know the name of this sound effect particularly, but we know Oliver Nelson created it, and it's lovely, and I just wanted to give it to you.
You should give it a name.
It's Bionic Eye at this point, which is sad because it was created for a horror television series. So we should call it...
It reminds me of a radar.
I'm going to call it the different one. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of like radar pinging. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's like it's a great one.
Yeah, I could see Aquaman summoning fish.
Yeah, you could probably stick it into any genre and really get away with it. But it was nice to hear here.
Jealousy is what we normally paint green. And jealousy provides the springboard of this particular painting. It offers up the bottom line of what can happen to human beings when trust is wiped out by suspicion. At this point, it ceases to be just a kind of titillating tale of human comedy. It becomes what it is, a horror story. Our painting is called Tell David.
All right, our next segment is called Tell David. This was written by Gerald Sanford, based on a short story by Penelope Wallace, and directed by P. here at the Night Gallery, Mr. Jeff Corey. This one stars Sandra Dee, Jenny Sullivan, Jan Chatan, and Castle Thunder makes an appearance in here, speaking of sound. This one is the story of a jealousy-prone wife and the young couple she accidentally encounters. A couple whose husband looks suspiciously like her own husband, only with a mustache. Chris, what'd you think of this one?
Father Malone, I want you to keep in touch because we'll think of something. We'll have... That's what this reminded me of. This reminded me of that episode 10, segment 2 of the second season of this show, the Alex Cord episode segment. I get the story that they're telling, but they tell you what they're going to do. By the end of it, all I could think was, what am I supposed to gain from this as an audience member? Because the story plays out the way you said it would. And it's not particularly entertaining. The acting's fine. It's fine. It's not like that Alex Cord one in quality wise. It's much better than that. But great. Yeah, the thing of characters not recognizing someone else, even though it's the actor playing the same, like a different person, but it's the same actor. You have to explain that. Otherwise, the audience is going to ask whether or not all the characters in the scene are fucking crazy. Because he looks like her husband. Hard stop. Period. Because it's the same actor. He has facial hair. And yet they're just, whatever. Oh, I guess it's for the audience's benefit. I don't know. It's a poor choice that gets in the way of an otherwise mediocre segment.
I liked this. I like the idea of it. I like that she takes a wrong turn and suddenly ends up in, what was it? The distant year of 1989, yes. I think it was. And there's only one brand of cigarettes.
Pacific, baby.
Oh boy. I will admit that I didn't actually realize it was the same actor playing both roles at first. Shame on me. Sandra Dee, I think this might be the first time I've actually seen Sandra Dee. I mostly know her from the song from Grease. That was nice to see why they would sing about her, because she's very pretty. Her jealousy comes very sudden and is very strong. And then I kept waiting, and please remind me if this happens or not. I kept thinking that when she finds her husband with the maid, right? I thought for sure, or the nanny, thank you. I thought for sure it'd be like, we were just rehearsing a scene from a play or something like that. Some sort of like explanation, like the ironic turn was what I was really hoping for, but didn't get
sure
that.
Looked like it though.
And if anything, I'd be jealous of that aunt because she was really smoking hot.
Yeah,
I also like how the aunt has the most distinct last name, and she's like something Blessington. It's like, why are you questioning this? When she tells her husband, he's like, I don't believe any of this. It's like, okay, fine.
What's funny is she makes no effort to change the future here, right? She just
she goes and she gets that gun immediately. Right. She doesn't miss a step.
So she keeps getting confirmations of the fact that she has interacted with her son. But yeah, as I said, does nothing at all to act on that at all. And this one confounded me, honestly, because I was enjoying it until she gets home and we see the husband, and then if the son has a picture of the mother, then he would recognize her. And her first words out of her mouth should have been, "Oh my God, you look exactly like my husband."
That's my point.
Spouses know how well one another look, like anything else. I'm startled if I meet another human being who resembles one of my partners in any way. You know what I mean? So to have someone who is so obviously him is absurd. I liked his GPS machine. Hey, look at that for prescience. That was kind of cool.
That was awesome. That's what they looked like when they first started coming out.
I like her aversion to the music. I like her aversion to the music. What is this? What is this racket? What is this? It's called electronic music.
I wanted him to say Aphex Twin.
Your kids will get it. Your kids will get it.
All of David's equipment, by the way, looked as impressive and just as scientifically sound as anything found on Ghost Adventures.
Oh,
Bert.
Heyo.
In fact, no, I take it back. This stuff actually looks good.
Double.
I got a cut on my hand. Yeah, you mentioned it at the top, Chris. Oh, look, the kid cut his hand. She's not even like doing that. She knows, he mentions that he's cut his hand, and now she's witnessing it happen and doesn't bother to intervene when his son cuts himself. Well, I just don't know what the story. I know what the story they're telling is. I just don't understand the motives behind any of it. Is this a character piece? I guess the moral is don't let jealousy overcome you because it can drive you to murder. But the jealousy that the son is describing to her is an unfounded jealousy. The jealousy she encounters is real. It isn't even a moment. There's no moment where the character thinks to herself, I can change that. I can get over the jealousy thing because I know it's not real now. Oh, it is real. And now I have to kill him. There's no even consideration of that. It drives me crazy. Sandra Dee, by the way, again, I'm with you, Mike, had never seen her actually on screen. Only knew her from that goddamn song. She's really beautiful. And the first note I wrote was, wow, Sandra Dee's great. Like, she's really solid in this. Even though she's given crazy directions that she doesn't recognize the son. That, anyway.
For me, one of the biggest bizarre decisions that the episode makes is they have her go back. Normally in these kinds of stories, they go once and it's, oh, I was walking in the rain and then I came upon this house. And it's like, yep, and that's exactly what happens here. But then it's like, come on back for another hangout. And she does. Which means she can just go visit him whenever she wanted to. It makes no sense why she does what she does, knowing that she can just go and visit him too at any point. I mentioned that Alex Cord episode not because of the similar tone, but also the similar waste of time. Because I didn't understand there what they were going for, and I don't understand here what they're going for. Because is this woman overcome by jealousy? Sure, but man. Honestly, how we not mention the weirdest scene in this entire segment? When she comes home from her son's place and the husband is screaming at her in an old lady mask. How has no one mentioned this yet? It's upsetting and bizarre, and I guess he's making fun of her is what we're led to believe.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's so bizarre just initially, and then I think all the way through it's bizarre, but what the fuck?
Yeah, because they hadn't established that she was a jealous shrew, and I don't buy it because it comes out of nowhere, and that scene was so upsetting that I didn't even really make the connection that, I realized, oh, he's supposed to be being her, but then I was like, this doesn't make any sense because she hasn't exhibited any of this behavior, and then when the jealousy comes up later on, it's too far removed from it. There's not enough closeness there to be like, oh, okay, yeah, she is really jealous. Like, there should have been something there. Because, I mean, I've got friends that have or had jealous spouses, and they were freaking nuts. And it wasn't just nuts like at one time. They would be nuts all the time. But Sandra Dee seems like a very normal, well-adjusted person. And then at the end, after she ends up killing him, I'm like, okay, well, now do the next logical thing, which is I'm going to escape into the future so they can't prosecute me for my crime. But no, she just
Why didn't she do that?
It would have been too interesting.
It would have made too much sense.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
She
Narratively would have gelled. Right. And it narratively would have gelled in a way that this just ends up feeling like it's just spinning its wheels. It's treading water. I don't get what the point is ultimately.
Look, this is
she just does exactly what they say that they're going to do. What's the point then?
The story's point of view is that this is fated and it's going to happen. And it's a quirk that she happened to be allowed to have an interaction with her future son and see that he's going to be okay. By the way, so she does go back that second time. And before that, when she's there the first time, and she's noticing all this bizarre future equipment, and they give her the cigarettes, which on the front, by the way, say no tar, no nothing. In fact, this is good for you. And she's, this is weird. And then turns it over. She turns it over, and the date is right there. It says 1989. It's not. She doesn't have to look at the tiny letter. It's pretty bold. When she goes back the second time, okay, we get that she's not gonna make the connection that this is her son yet. But wouldn't you be like, can you show me that machine again? How does that work? That's so weird. Can I see those cigarettes again? Hey, look at that thing. What does this do? Why is there a screen on your phone? Just a human being would have these questions.
Also, in the future, apparently, free love is a thing.
Did seem that way.
I get right.
Yeah.
That's definitely some polyamory going on. And again, it's like it's used in this weird spot where it's like you don't get upset when your husband kisses another woman, and she's like, yeah, nobody gives a fuck. And it's like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? I get what you're driving at, but okay, Rod Serling. I guess that was his envisionment of the future, is just sex and GPS machines for all. And cigarettes that don't give you cancer.
He was really hoping for that one.
That's the one thing I could see him really getting behind.
Yeah. It's the Pacific cigarettes Rod was really excited about.
We've gotten all the other gadgets, but still none of that, I guess. We've switched to vaping, I suppose. Also, there are not...
And the free love still isn't there.
Oh, no.
The free love.
Yeah, there's no free love here.
But people talk about it more, at least. There are not enough revolver drawers in desks these days. Seems to be that there used to be every desk had a revolver in a drawer. Very convenient here. They could have front loaded in when she tries to use the phone in the first scene. She's like, I just want to call and let my husband know where I am. That was the perfect time to say, I'm going to call my house because my husband better be there because I'm put in the jealousy right from the get-go. Were they worried that we weren't going to like her as a character? It's so much better that she kills him and then kills herself in prison after she knows it can happen and does nothing to change that fact. Anyway, there was a nice focus dissolve into a solarization here Jeff Corey threw in. There were a couple of nice little camera tricks that I really appreciated here. Jeff Corey's getting more and more confident as a filmmaker here on Night Guy. It's nice to see the progression.
They just need to give him a better script to direct.
This is a double. It's a twofer this episode, gentlemen, because this next episode also features a particular sound effect. This one, here it is. The next one takes place in a jungle, so naturally you're going to hear. Oh, and it's featured quite a bit in this.
Nice.
That's a kookaburra. The track is just called Kookaburra. That first made its debut in 1938 in a Tarzan serial, and then was immediately followed with appearances in Wizard of Oz, and literally everything since then taking place in a jungle. Interesting fact, of course, is that a kookaburra is a native to Australia.
Where does it sit, Father Malone?
It sits in the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bushes. Hey, everybody. Laugh, kookaburra, gay his life must be. Anyway.
I don't understand why the kookaburra shows up everywhere but Australia. The noise is so distinctive. I guess it's because it sounds like a monkey.
Right. It sounds enough like a foreign animal. Is it a monkey? Is it a bird? I don't know. It sounds like it's laughing at us. It's a great jungle sound.
That's the best superhero that has it. Is it a monkey? Is it a bird? It's Monkey Bird Man. That's the thing. Like, I guarantee you play that for 10 people and half of the people might think it's a monkey.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think I did for many years, honestly.
Yeah, but hey, we're in the jungle.
Item number 3 in the night gallery. You probably recognize this quaint figurine. The dead eyes, the sewn lips, the kind of thing that usually infests nightmares. And that happens to be precisely what it is. A nightmare of the first order. Its title, Lagoda's Heads.
Indeed, we are in this segment called Lagoda's Heads, written by Robert Bloch, author of Psycho, Robert Bloch, from a short story by August Derleth, directed by my favorite, Jeannot Zwark. All three of them should have known better. This one stars Patrick McNee, Brock Peters, Denise Nicholas, and Tim Matheson, and a terrible mustache. It's the tale of an explorer who escorts an American in search of his brother in the darkest jungles of Africa. I was really worried at the outset on this one, guys, but I think this was a respectful presentation. As respectful a presentation as possible, while still requiring Starfleet Admiral Cartwright to speak in pidgin English while wearing a dashiki. What do you think of this one, Mike?
Yeah, anything that has Brock Peters in it, I'm pretty happy with, but mostly just when he's on screen. Denise Nicholas, she looked so familiar. And then I went back and I looked at her filmography, and yeah, I've seen a bunch of stuff that she was in. I want to say she was in Uptown Saturday Night, I'm pretty sure, or yeah, Let's Do It Again, one of those of the Cosby Poitier films. But yeah, again, Did I see the twist coming? Yeah, I sure did. Did I want to see more of those heads, and did I want to see them talk and do other kind of cool things? I sure did at that. Didn't really get to see that one, but at least I got to see a very young Roger E. Mosley with kind of a bad accent come in and tell them that Lagoda has died. So it was neat. And then, yeah, Tim Matheson and that ridiculous mustache. I didn't even recognize him at first until I heard his voice.
Otter?
Yeah. But yeah, it was okay. Again, I feel like this one went on for a little too long. How long was this one? Was this another 22
Well, it felt like
minutes?
it. No, this one was only 10.
Right?
This has been an episode with mediocrity. It's fine. Yeah, like Mike said, the twist can be seen from orbit, for fuck's sake. Let me put it this way. For an episode segment called Lagoda's Heads, there is not enough head here. There aren't enough of the heads doing stuff. The heads of Lagoda's heads are not present enough to call it Lagoda's Heads. And the question then becomes, how did the heads kill him?
They summoned forces, or they chewed him up themselves. I don't know. Maybe they came off the wall.
The second answer is the better answer.
That's the one you want, the Elfman version.
It came off the log. Exactly. The Tim Burtonization of him, yeah. What about you, Father Malone? What'd you think?
I think having a shrunken head nook is important when you're buying a new home.
Does it come with or without the stick? Is the stick included?
I would assume so. Otherwise, it's just a nook. I like that they arrive. It's always great to see Patrick McNee, by the way. John Steed. But they go into the hut to talk to Lagoda. And Lagoda clearly speaks English. But for some reason, Tim Matheson keeps talking to Patrick McNee as if he's a translator. Ask him about my brother. I think he heard you just then. He'll probably answer you if he so chooses. Also, late in the episode, Tim Matheson exclaims at one point, and while most people would have said, my God, he says, "Mother of Satan." I had to rewind it.
That'd be a good sound.
Absolutely.
Clip to use, I think.
By the way, is Dumbala just the word? I kept waiting for Chunky to come running out because they said Dumbala while they were talking to the heads. I don't know. Not enough. There weren't enough of the heads. I was intrigued by the heads. I was hoping one of the heads would come to life. Just one of them. At least one.
Like I said, it's called Lagoda's head.
It was his brother's
it's
head.
called Lagoda's fucking head. It's like, show the thing.
Lagoda's head's wind machine is what we get. They'll just vibrate a little and hear some sounds. And
somebody's just shaking it off screen. Just, they're moving.
The actor you mentioned, Mike, earlier, who comes in to tell them that Lagoda is dead, and you're saying he's doing a really weird accent. All I could think was, you could just see him bristling against this bullshit native dialogue that they, all three of our sort of principal leads, have been saddled with, just rankling at it. Can I just speak in a full sentence? By the way, what year was this? Was this supposed to be the turn of the century? Because it could have been really any time. It might have been 1971 for all we knew.
Yeah, I want to say around this time, Roger E. Mosley was doing The Mac, where he was a African nationalist. So much different character, and something I think he...
Yeah, he just seemed uninterested in... He just wanted... I'm saying the words. Here are the words. This is what you wanted. And good for him. Yeah.
Now where's my check?
I hope everyone got paid, because you're right, Chris. It's not terrible. It's just there. This entire episode was just there, which I suppose is better than a bad episode, but still, this is an episode that began with the boy who predicted earthquakes, and we need to be shooting higher, folks. It's not enough. It's not enough that Sandra Dee is going to die after killing her husband. It's just not.
She's gonna kill herself. Don't forget, she straight up. They go, "Oh, you're gonna kill yourself." By the way, great, cool.
It's the first time travel plot I've ever seen, honestly, where the characters are uninterested at all in changing their fate.
I know the future. Who fucking cares?
They just see it, and everything's just weird. It doesn't affect her. It gives the message, but the message had already been given. That was faded as well. It's
this segment is so good. We're talking about the other segment while talking about this one.
We're kind of wrapping
This segment
up
is
here.
such a nothing burger. August Derleth's stories are varied. Father Malone, you know that because I know you've looked into his. I mean, it's varied stuff, right? But it's a lot of horror or horror adjacent. Whatever this is not that.
It's supposed to be a supernatural tale, but we don't see anything happen at all. We don't even get to see the
For all
bodies
we
of
know,
anybody.
Denise Nicholas just killed him and just put his head there anyways.
Right.
Who knows? Oh yeah, the head's killed him, or I just did it, and who gives a shit? Like,
It would have been good had she said, "No, it was me. I killed your brother. He didn't have anything to do with it. There's nothing you can do about it because I got these heads now, baby."
Right.
That would have been great.
Yeah.
Instead, it was like, "No, I know he killed.
we
Why did he
lose
kill him?
our central
We don't
premise.
get any of that information. So get those heads talking. Come on, they got mouths. Unstitch it.
meh.
Meh.
It's fine. This episode is better than some of them this season, which is not saying much, but it's saying more than you would think.
It's saying enough.
Yeah, I agree. It is. You use the word nothing burger. I don't tend to use that too often, but I would say this is all that and no bag of chips.
We're gonna play a preview of the next episode, and we'll be right back to wrap things up.
For the horticulturist amongst you, here's a dandy. A lady who plants things and then steps back and watches them grow. Roses, rhododendron, tulips, and things never before to be found coming out of the ground, just put in. The subject of this painting has green fingers. Funeral home art, you might call it. Example, this item here. The somber silence of shrouds, the gray, unhappy light of a sunless dawn, and a horse-drawn casket, very much in keeping with the motif of this place. The title of the painting, Funeral. We don't ask you to believe this particular painting, Death's Head hovering over a jukebox, but it does point out the all-inclusive quality of the occult. Phantom specters can be found not only in haunted houses, but in places you'd least expect to find them. Places like this. Our painting is called The Tune in Dan's Cafe.
That's right. On the next Midnight Viewing, we'll be taking a look at Season 2, Episode 15. That's broken into 3 segments. Green Fingers, The Funeral, The Tune in Dan's Cafe. Until then, where can people find you, Chris Dashu?
WeirdingWayMedia.com is where you can find all the things that I work on, which are varied in their variety.
How about you, Mike?
In the immortal words of Patrick Swayze, ditto.
I third that. All right now, ladies and gentlemen, until then, we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you all for joining us here at Midnight Viewing. The gallery is now closed.